So that will be up there for you. So I grabbed a little, it's just a step bench. It goes with my reformer is what I have. But if you want to have a chair or a bench nearby, I'll show you how to take some of the stretches onto a chair. So you can totally be on the ground like you are. Or if you're like, oh, get on the ground, it's kind of hard wherever I am, you could sit on your chair or your bench. And we're going to start with that forward fold. So I can just take my legs, extend them out long in front of me from my chair or my bench, and just walk forward. And then of course we can do this straight up from the floor as well. But I like to ever so often pull out a chair or a bench just to show you all these awesome stretches we can get in a little bit raised up position. So I'm going to stay here on the chair for this one, but you can definitely have this on the floor. And just think about pulling the top of your head towards those feet. Your hands can be wherever. Now, if you can reach your feet, you can take the hands and either wrap them over the top or around the side. And the purpose there is to gently flex the feet back towards you a little more. And then let the chin start to tuck towards the chest. And the crown of the head falls. And you'll feel that stretch go right down both sides of your spine. And then breathe. And a couple of more breaths here. Giving that body time to let go of the tightness in the muscles. It takes a little while. If we're just stretching, 10 to 15 seconds at a time, that doesn't really give the body time to let go. Now that's fine to do on occasion after a class, right? It's better than nothing. But if you can fit in at least once during your week, a little bit longer stretch session. And then just walk that up. Then we'll take that into the straddle to get more into the inner thigh. So of course you can be flat on the floor or seated up a little bit more in this chair position. And so I'm going to scoot back towards the back of my bench or the back of my chair so that as I lean forward, I can support myself lightly with my hands in the front. And then if I feel comfortable bringing my hands down to the ground, I can do that as well. And then of course, if I'm just on the floor, I'm in the straddle. And then just like we did with the straight leg, think about pulling the crown of your head forward, lengthen through the spine. So a lot of times it can be, if we have our backs a little tight or for whatever reason, it can sometimes be difficult to get all the way down to the floor. So you do not have to. Stretching in a chair is fabulous. I don't have to come all the way down. I don't have to bring my hands to the floor. I could even have my hands supported here on the chair as I lean forward. Flex those feet back towards you a little bit. Nice. Right here, 2 more breaths. And on our inhale, walk it up. We're going to come into that outer hip position. So whether you're seated in the chair or on the floor, what we're going to do is take your right ankle on top of that left quad. So if I'm here in a chair position, right, I can just press into this inner thigh. I'm going to press down on my right inner thigh, and I can lean forward a little bit. If I'm seated, what I can do is scoot myself a little closer, press my chest forward, opening my back, or opening my chest, I should say. Or I can still take that right arm and press that knee away. So I can do this seated or on the floor, and we're getting right into that hip. And we do this a lot of times from our back, that all 4 position, but we're not always in a place we're doing this on our back. If we're at work or whatever, and we're like, oh, I just really need a stretch. You can do this right here in your chair. Nice. And always think about pulling the spine long. So we always want to pull long, even when we're going to round it. We start with the long. So pulling the crown of the head forward, pull the shoulders down the back. And our key here is to press that inner thigh away. Nice. 2 more breaths on this side. So we're working to hold our stretches in here at least 30, 40 seconds, all the way up to about a minute. If you come to yin, that we have in the evenings, we'll hold the stretches sometimes 3, 4 minutes. So I know we got a couple of new faces here as part of our VFit free week. So check out as many classes as you can. Come on up. We'll switch that out onto the other leg. So take the other leg across, or if you're in that seated position, and you might need to give yourself some space to get that leg up there in the seated position, and then scooting your body in close. If I'm down here on the ground, I can scoot in close right here. And so some of you that have done this before, you may be recognizing that 4 stretch. That's exactly what we're in. But instead of laying on the floor, I know we get people that come in from work. So anytime I do this class, sometimes we do the 4 stretch from our back on the floor. Remember, you can always do this in a seated position. Is Linda here today? A lot of times Linda comes in from work. You know, see, there you are. Yep, I see you, Linda. Yeah, you know, your work may be awesome and laying on the floor may be great, but you know, who knows? So we can always take these positions seated or even in a chair. Nice. Right here. Awesome. One more breath. And rise it up. All right, we're going to stay seated for a little bit of upper body, and then we'll bring things up to a stand. So again, you could be on the floor, you could be seated, you could even decide to just go ahead and stand up here. We're going to take our right arm and reach it away. And what we're going to try to do is create some distance along the right side of our neck. So I'm not necessarily crunching this shoulder in, I'm pulling the top of my head away and pressing that right arm down. Now I could use my hand if I want to kind of assist in the pull, but what I'm doing is assisting to pull out, not down. So we're trying to just create some space, reach those fingers. Then we're going to work into the shoulder a little bit by dropping the thumb down. Rotate the palm up towards the ceiling behind you. Just pause there for a few breaths. Feel that stretch kind of change through the arm around the elbow. Great for tennis elbow. So if you're on the floor and this is uncomfortable and you don't have a chair nearby, you can always stand up. And then rotate the palm down. Palm comes forward and then palm comes up. You'll feel that stretch come down more through the front, the elbow crease and the bicep. Think about pulling it away. And we'll let our head release here, so you can lift your head up, hold the arm out, reach it, reach it, reach it, raise it up. Keep raising, 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 nice and slowly working through that range of motion till the bicep comes up. Bend the elbow, pat yourself down on the back, and then pull that elbow back behind you. Opening through the chest. Try to relax through your back. Nice. Now think about taking this elbow, reaching it up. So you're lifting through the right rib cage and then lean over to the left. Really, really, really opening through the rib cage. Lift the sternum a little bit so that you're not folding forward. So we're creating a lot of space. Beautiful. And then on the inhale, come up. On the exhale, release the hand, rotate the palm behind you, reach that hand up onto the center of your back. And once again, think about pulling the shoulder and the elbow behind you, keeping the chest forward. So we just worked all through the shoulder socket. Nice. Oh, and shake that out. Oh, I hope that feels a lot lighter. We'll take all that through the other side. So we're going to start by reaching the left arm away and then trying to create this space between the left ear and the left shoulder, not hunching here, just lengthening. Reach, reach, reach the fingertips away. Nice. Take a couple of breaths here. We'll work all the way through the shoulder on this side. Oh, my other shoulder feels like so light. And then rotate that thumb down, palm turns behind you. And keep twisting it up just to your range of motion. Don't try to force anything. But if you can really work that palm so it's all the way facing the ceiling, that's fine. And then still think about pulling the fingertips away. So you're getting all this space. You could even take your opposite hand and kind of help create the space between the neck and down the arm. And then rotate the palm down, forward, and up. So you feel that stretch change, come into that bicep. Keep reaching those fingers away. Feel all this lengthening right in here. And then you can lift the head. Pause there. And then keeping that arm nice and long, slowly raise it. If you hit any tweaks in there where it doesn't feel good, please stop, right? You don't have to go all the way through the range of motion. Sometimes this overhead stuff can be pretty intense. And then let that elbow bend. Pull the elbow behind you. So I'm not trying to twist, just trying to pull that elbow behind me. Nice. Couple of breaths there. And then releasing, let the palm face behind me, bring the back of the hand up to the center of the back and pull back here. Oh, I forgot to do our side bend. We'll go back to it. Sorry about that. So here, open the chest. And then we'll bring it back up. My bad, forgot that little side bend. So from here, think about the elbow pulling to the ceiling. So you're really lengthening through the rib cage and bend. Get a nice little massage through the right side. You might even feel some strength down that right side of your spine. And we're working to lengthen through the left rib cage. Try to keep that left hip bone into the ground. So I'm not lifting, I'm not leaning over. I'm pulling. And then come up and down. So we officially have about 50 seconds left. We're gonna come up to the stand. I'm gonna keep you a tiny bit over if you can because I wanna get a quad stretch on each leg. So you come on up to the stand, you can hold on if you like. We'll just pull that heel to glute. And this will get you back up on your feet, those of you that have to head back into your day. And yeah, I love it. So Nancy chose to stay down on the ground, lay on her side. So you can imagine laying on your side. So if you're like, oh, I don't have to rush out of here, I wanna just kind of stay down here on the ground. You can totally lay on your side, take this quad stretch there, and then you can take a little shavasana as we log out in just a moment. But I know many of you gotta get back to your day, your kids' lunch, work. And so I'll bring you up to that stand to finish up here. Nice, one more breath on my quad. And then release, we'll bring that into the other side. So you can roll over. You can turn around if you need to hold on, right? Just let your body turn around. There's a lot to be said for practicing balance, but there's no reason to practice your balance during a stretch. We can practice our balance another time. Go into a way that it feels good to just stretch. Nice. Perfect, ladies. 2 more breaths right here. And release. Just give everything a nice little movement. Hopefully your body feels open. You are ready to go about your day. And again, if you don't have to rush off, just stay down there if you are on the ground and take a little